Welcome everyone to another episode of the Chuck Graham Show. We got a lot to get into today. Since most of us are locked down, hopefully the country will reopen. So stay tuned. Welcome back. Well, I'm not going to bore you with politics and Antifa and Black Lives Matter or any of that nonsense today. But what I am going to do is this. Look, ladies, on Facebook, which I'm debating whether or not to delete my Facebook page. But ladies, if you're an extremely hot looking woman friending me, I don't have dementia yet, okay? I don't. I will soon. So I know that you're probably some guy from Nigeria. Stop friending me. Even if I was shagging you, I still wouldn't give you money. So I'm not one of these creepy old guys that give in to that kind of thing. I'm married. And I love my wife. So, anyway, I want to ask you guys today, who believes in Bigfoot? That's right, Bigfoot. You know, the big hairy creature. That's the only thing that the trans community hasn't decided to identify as the big hairy man in the woods. The big hairy man in the woods. I identify as Bigfoot. Well, but it's probably coming. I mean, you know, who knows? But I had my own encounter, all joking aside, I had my own encounter years ago on a place called Cow Creek Road years ago. And what happened was we were out looking at some old abandoned house right there where Cow Creek meets, I can't remember the road's name, but it forks right there in the middle of nowhere over in Chunky, Mississippi. And me and a friend of mine named Charlie, we stayed behind while the rest of probably 6 people went up to this old house. And I distinctly heard a low guttural growl, and it was so dark you could not see your hand in front of your face, and we didn't have a flashlight. So I grabbed a pipe wrench, like that's going to do any good, and we screamed for the other guys to come back up, and I'm not sure that they believe me or not, but oh man, I just noticed something. You know what I forgot to do? This is episode 24. And now it's episode 24. I forgot to do it. OBS. It ought to change automatically. Anyway, so we got the hell out of there, right? And that was my second experience. I remember when I lived in Clark County and I was probably around 6 to 7 years old. And I don't remember much about being 6 or 7 years old, but I remember this because it scared the hell out of me. Every time I would step, and I talked to a friend of mine that lived out there too. His mother was married to my stepdad later on in life, and he said he experienced the same thing. But way off into the middle of nowhere on this 120 acres we had, something was keeping pace with me in the woods. I would step, it would step. I would step, it would step. When I stopped, it would stop. And finally I took off running, and it didn't get me. So that's all I know. Was it Bigfoot? Hell, I don't know. It was something. Could have been a cougar, I guess. But if it had been a cat and you took off running, he probably would have hunted you down and took you out. But I gotta have some water. But anyway, leave some comments in the comments and tell me, have you ever experienced Bigfoot? Now, there is a channel that I like to listen to, and I like Wes with Sasquatch Chronicles. I like listening to the stories from some of these people. But do I actually think, well, I've looked at the Patterson-Gimlin film, and do I think that it's real? Yeah, I do. I mean, here's the thing. Hand to God, there are thousands of footprint cast with dermal ridges on those cast. So only one of those cast have to be wrong. I mean, have to be right and true for there to be a species. Now, people say, well, you know, they never found a body. Never found a bear's body either. My security's barking. Never found a bear's body either, right? Or a carcass. Well, that's because it's extremely difficult. And you just don't. Like I watch Survivor Man with Les Strauss, and he's never come across a bear carcass. And they did a test on a deer. It takes it about a week for it to be completely gone. I mean, nothing left. So, sorry about that security barking. I told my wife we have enough animals. 5 dogs and 3 cats. That's enough. That's a damn enough. Don't come up with any more. Anyway. So, but the point being is this. The carcass thing, out the window. Now, if you look at the Patterson-Gimlin film, and you look at, and M.K. Davis, which I don't agree with a lot of his rhetoric, but he did a really good job of stabilizing the film. You can see muscle movement. You can see when she turns back and looks, you see her tits kind of sway in the wind. I mean, okay, you would have to be, in 1967 when this was built, when this was made, you would have to say, okay, hey, Joe, here's what we're going to do. We're going to dress you up in a monkey suit. And by the way, just for the effects, we're going to put some tits on it. That's what you would have had to. No, hell, they didn't have the technology back then to make that suit. So, you know, and there's a lot of people that's claimed that not a lot. There's some that have claimed to be the man in the suit. That's just bullshit. They actually caught Bigfoot on camera. I believe that. And if you don't believe that, I don't care. And if you think that I'm crazy for believing that, I don't care either. Leave that in the comments. You know, hate speech is free speech, folks. Mattal versus Tams, 2017, United States Supreme Court. Hate speech is free speech. Okay, so the bottom line is I think it's real. I think there's a species. I don't think there's a whole lot of them. And I think that it runs the gamut. I mean, you get the Yeti and overseas, and then you have the North American Bigfoots. You have the skunk ape in Florida. So, I mean, there's just too many sightings. Too many sightings for this not to be something. Now, do I think it's... Now, I'm not going to get off in the woods with it. It is it is a interdimensional traveler from another dimension, and it cloaks. No, I don't agree with that shit. But I do believe it's probably a unknown primate that is, well, pretty intelligent. But do I know that for a fact? Nope. Does the government? Yep. They know one way or the other. They know if it's real, and they know that. I mean, could you imagine, especially in California with them dipshits over there? Look, and not all Californians are dipshits, so don't hate on me. Anyway, so if you took and in California, where they will absolutely boycott anything, and they will shut down lumber mills and logging and everything else over a bird or an owl, Can you imagine what they would do if a family of primates were in the Pacific Northwest? Oh my God. These tree hugging fuckers would do all kinds of things. And look, to some degree, they have a point. You want to be environmentalist. You want to save the environment. I'm not for, but let's be real. Some of the things that they do and some of their tactics actually cause more pollution than what they're trying to stop. So, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm trying to stay away from politics today. Bigfoot. I want to know what you think about Bigfoot. But can you imagine what they would do? Some of the liberal leftist people would do if they found a family of unknown primates. It would be a complete shutdown of our logging industry. So let me know what you think. Your opinions, they matter. Opinions matter, people. Okay, I said I wasn't going to get into politics, but let me just say this about Black Lives Matter. They're a Marxist, racist organization that have hijacked a name. That's right. And it has not a damn thing to do with Black Lives Matter. All lives matter. So, God bless you all. Stay safe. Don't get the corona. And don't get me started about wearing masks. I'm not going to wear them, motherfuckers. So, if I get it and I die, at least I died free. But the fact is this. If they worked, I could see it. But you got so many conflicting research. I mean, I've read so many articles that say they don't work. One was from a dental association where they researched it. Yeah, it'll stop your spit. But the virus itself, it has very little effect on. But people are, and Google and Facebook and all these other places are scrubbing that information. Opposing opinions to wearing masks is well, frankly, they're scrubbing it. I mean, I've seen the one that I just mentioned. I went back and looked at it. I would have provided a link for you, but it's gone. I posted it on Facebook, and it's gone. There's no link to it. I can tell you this. If the DOJ and the FBI and the CIA will conclude together to take down a presidency, which they have, why wouldn't the CDC and Dr. Fauci? I think Dr. Fauci is a fucking moron, is what I think. I think their models are, they don't even need to call them models. What they need to call them is guesses. Guess. We think 2 million people are going to die. What is this, the Spanish flu in 1918? Give me a break, people. There's only 128,000 people died. Now, that's a lot as a collective group. And if you know somebody that has died of it, my heart goes out to you. But as a collective, 119,000, I believe it was 2017 or 18, died of the flu. 88,000 died of alcohol-related deaths. But liquor stores are essential. 44,000, I believe it was last year, died of falling. 30-something thousand died of 40,000 was car accidents, and 30-something died of falling. 30,000. Accidents happen. People died. This is just the way it is. Period. You can't arbitrarily and capriciously enforce your rules and regulations. What they've done to this country for the last 6 months is so unconstitutional. But the problem is, people, is that all three branches of our government has been terrified. So, that's my 2 cents. Anyway, let me know about Bigfoot. You got to let me know about Bigfoot. I said this morning when I got up, because I'm so sick of the news and I'm sick of all Don Lemons of the world, and I'm just sick of it. I'm going to do something on this show other than talk about mask wearing and politics, but I did it anyway. Can't even be honest to myself, I guess. But if you like the show, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and I'm going to get the podcast up. Right now we've got some software issues. We host everything inside, and I'm the computer guy that actually builds all these. And I'm trying to find one that I can purchase because I don't have time to code it. But we're going to have the podcast up to where on multiple platforms here in about a week, not just YouTube. I don't trust YouTube to not take the show down at some point or try to demonetize it or whatever. So we keep everything done in-house. So there's that. Anyway, God bless. And stay safe out there. Don't get corona.